That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
It's crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 185 of Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor, Chippy.
And we're back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange. And David, what's your word?
My word is the killer.
What?
Yeah. It can't be just killer, it's the killer.
That's what I just told you. Wait, is this like a...
No, that's why I thought that was very interesting that you said that before we started recording.
Oh, okay. I just told David that I was reading the new David Fincher movie that is coming out on November 10th. We are not getting paid to promote this, but they are releasing a movie on Netflix called The Killer, and it is based off of a graphic novel, which I am currently reading. Pretty good.
Yeah.
And I said that to him right off mic, and he brought it back up again. So anyway, I'm excited for that movie, regardless. But before we talk about movies, I know I glitched out again, didn't I, David?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, fine.
We're having some technical difficulties tonight, but we'll get around it.
You guys are hearing the normal thing. Just David's hearing me going.
It would be great if they were here, if it comes through and it's actually how it's recording on your end, but it'd make it a lot better, honestly.
I was talking about The Killer, and he comes back on like 5 seconds later. And he goes, "Man, you just went like killer, 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 killer." It's like, okay, cool. That's even creepier.
Yeah.
But before we catch you up on any killers or movie recommendations,
The Killer.
we got to catch you up on before we catch you up on The Killer or the weird movie, whatever. We got to catch you up on any of the weird news you may have missed. And David, I got something right here.
Yeah.
Damning texts expose plot to poison man's root beer float to get all of his hidden savings. So this is a crazy story. I almost think that this could be like an episode in itself.
You might want to back pocket it then. We're always struggling to find stories. If it has enough information for a good story.
I don't know if it has enough, but I'll just read it because I already spoke it into the, I've already teased it. So basically, this woman named Marcia Allen was married to this man named Harold Allen. I believe it was her second or third husband or something like that, because she has a daughter named Ashley Nicole Jones, who is obviously, her father is not this man Harold. But what ended up happening is that Harold died. Harold, they called the this was like a year ago, but it was like ever unfolding. And Harold died in the house, and they called the ambulance, and they're like, oh yeah, this guy's dead. And they started looking into it. Because I don't even understand fully this whole story, but basically the daughter, Ashley Nicole Jones, was mad at her mother. This is like a year after Harold died. And she hired two guys to break into the mother's house. And when they broke into the house, the mother called the police. They got caught. And after they got caught, they snitched on this girl, Ashley, and was like, oh yeah, she like paid us to go break into her mom's house. And because she like wants like valuables or money from her.
Okay.
And they said, also, you remember that guy Harold that died last year? Yeah, she was like bragging that like she poisoned him.
Hell yeah.
And they're like, and the police are like, what? So they start looking into it and basically find out that the mother and the daughter were texting back and forth about how to kill Harold to get like his savings or something like that. And two of their plans were, one was to put antifreeze in his root beer float.
Hey, you would taste that immediately, though.
No. Here's the thing. Apparently, antifreeze. I didn't know this either. It kind of clicked once I read it, but it's odorless, but it does have a taste. But the taste is sweet.
Oh.
So like,
well, don't tell me that. God, are you trying to make me drink it? Trying to kill me?
No, I might actually help you in the long run. Now no sweets for a bit because Davey's paranoid. Ooh, everything sweet is gonna be a little antifreeze bomb.
Yeah.
So not only did he drink this antifreeze in his root beer float, and apparently he started acting like drunk and loopy afterward, and then he passed out, and she didn't call the ambulance for like 5 hours after, just like make sure he was dead. And I'm like, that's so suspicious. Like people look into that shit because they know like time of death and stuff. But what the other thing they did, which was fucking crazy and hilarious, was the mom wanted to poison him with like insulin. I guess he had diabetes, and she's like, let's like inject him with too much insulin. And the daughter's like, no, what is this, like 1984? I'm like, oh my God, are you guys arguing about how to kill your stepdad? But basically what they ended up doing instead, she's like, I'm going to order a plant off Etsy called foxglove. And they started looking at this plant called foxglove on Etsy, and I know it's glitching out right now. It
glitched out when you were saying fox, and so it just said foxglove.
What's going on? I don't know. Maybe we'll hang up and you call me back. In a
no,
second.
it's. I think it's my house internet. It's been on the fritz lately.
Oh, okay.
Goddamn Xfinity.
Probably. Yeah, probably all those illegal movies you're downloading.
Talk about those.
But basically, what ended up happening is they ordered this foxglove plant off of Etsy, and they said like the seeds and the leaves are toxic, like don't touch it. And
Crazy.
so she used gloves, and she like ground it up, and she put it in. She put it in 2 foods to feed him. I don't know if this is what killed him or if it was the antifreeze, but she put it in chili and brownies.
Okay.
And he fucking was eating foxglove and drinking antifreeze. Also, his name was Harold Peanut L. Allen Jr. His nickname apparently is Peanut, so that's pretty good.
This got to be the first murder committed through Etsy, right?
It may be.
When I think
That's
of
a good
Etsy, I
question.
just think of like silly stickers you can't find anywhere else, you know?
Yeah. I mean, but you could like buy plants and shit. I don't know who's like buying a toxic plant. Like, I just feel like that's a recipe for disaster.
Well,
Who's even growing it? Yeah, true. But basically, so they like went and they found all this shit out, and then they're like, oh, and the mom's like, I didn't poison my husband. Check my text messages. They check all the text messages, and all they do is talk about how to kill this man. I'm like, because she deleted them, but she didn't know that you can like find them in the history.
Yeah.
So they looked through all the text messages, and they're like, yeah, you guys are talking about fucking killing him. And like when the package arrived, and you're like, root beer float night, ha 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 ha, and I'm like, oh fuck. So the police go to show up at the house, and the mom fucking killed herself.
Okay.
So the mom's dead. She it's suspected suicide. It's
Bad
not
mommy.
100% yet. Bad mommy. Got cold feet, and the daughter, who's like 29 or 30, is in jail now. But kind of a crazy story, and no one got money. So whatever.
What happened to the money then? Goddamn state take it?
Well, I'm guessing that the money probably went to the mom, and then the mom was like, I'm not sharing the money with the daughter, and the daughter got even more pissed, and she's like, I'm going to burglarize that. I'm going to hire 2 guys to steal money or steal goods from you so I could get money, and then the burglars just snitched on her. So kind of just dumb criminals being dumb as fuck.
Yeah,
so
they usually are.
They maybe could have gotten away with that first murder too, honestly.
Yeah.
But the burglars ratted her out. So anyway.
All right. Philadelphia
Not
pig.
very funny. Oh, sorry.
Philadelphia pig Kevin Bacon captured with sticky bun filled with Benadryl after 18 days on the lam.
Whoa, a pig on the lamb?
A pig on the lam.
Is that like a turducken?
No, you know what that means, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I know what that means. Sticky bun filled with Benadryl.
Yeah.
Is what I get in the mail from the Hat Man.
Yeah.
As a little treat when he wants to meet with me. He sends me this.
There's been a lot of sticky bun memes lately.
Really?
Have you seen these?
No.
Yeah, there's a whole
No.
thing about like microwaving a sticky bun for 10 minutes and then throwing it at someone and like brutally killing them. I have never hit my mic. I have never eaten a sticky bun.
Wait. Is a sticky bun different than a cinnamon roll?
I'm sure they are in a way. I think I mean, like I said, I've never had one. I've only seen them. It kind of looks like a sticky bun is just a real gnarly cinnamon roll.
What does that mean, gnarly? Just stickier?
Just so sticky and just like melted. And I don't.
Oh,
You're
making me fucking hungry.
One of my big things is I hate one of my least favorite things in the world is when my hands are sticky. I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts. So like when I see something like that and it's in the name, I'm like, I'm not gonna eat that.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, if you put a sticky bun in the microwave for 10 seconds, there's no way in hell I'm throwing that. I'm
sorry.
That.
I think you misheard me. 10 minutes.
Oh shit! So you throw it at somebody after 10 minutes and it becomes like a
molten
It's
lava.
like napalm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit. 10 seconds sounds just about right.
Probably.
10 minutes.
Nah.
I feel like it becomes.
I don't think anything cooks in 10 seconds in a microwave.
No, you just want. Am I weird? Sometimes I like my food like half cold.
It depends on the food.
Sometimes I'll warm up a burrito for like 15, 30 seconds instead
Icy
of like
core. Yeah, you're fucked. There's something real wrong with you, dude.
No. It's not a thick burrito. It's just warm enough.
No, man. That's fucked. I'm burning my mouth on everything I'm eating. That's for damn sure.
I eat cold desserts though. I put like cookies and Reese's in the freezer and stuff like that. I'll like snap a tooth eating like some good, like I don't put everything in the freezer, but like I do like a frozen treat. I like a lot of leftovers cold too. Pizza good cold. Sometimes I'll like make chicken and then I'll just like go in the Tupperware and like stab it with a fork and just eat it like a popsicle chicken stick.
The roof of my mouth looks like that one car mechanic Lester who got hit with Agent Orange during Vietnam.
Wait, who's this?
You know, everybody knows him. Everybody's got an Agent Orange mechanic, you know? Maybe not anymore, but we all did at one point.
Is this a real man though, or are you just like making this up as like a jokey? Like, do you actually know a man named Lester who has the effects of Agent Orange done onto him?
I did.
Did you catch him with the cinnamon bun filled with Benadryl?
I wouldn't put it past him.
We need to take his blood for testing. We gotta get him sleepy somehow.
I don't remember. I don't think his name was Lester. I can't remember what his name was. But I swear to God, I saw him asleep on a lawnmower once, one of those rideable ones, just cruising through a field.
On that?
Yeah.
Jeez. Did he run over the Mark Wahlberg in the movie?
Yes.
Good.
I don't know that reference.
We talked about this. This is the happening when the guy gets run over.
Yeah,
by
but Mark
the
Wahlberg doesn't get ran over by the lawnmower.
You're right, but I don't know his name, so Mark Wahlberg gets run over in this joke.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. So if you got a loose hog.
Oh yeah, with the pig.
Yeah, you got a loose hog just filled.
What was his name? Kevin Bacon?
Yeah, his name was Kevin Bacon.
That's pretty good. I like when they named they're on like the news. It was like a meme, and it was like Chris, first name Chris, middle initial P.
Oh yeah.
Last name Bacon, Chris P. Bacon.
Oh yeah.
Pretty funny.
Yep.
What was that? What was that hog doing? He's just loose.
He was just on the. He was on the lamb, man. He was on the lamb for 18 days.
That's a long time.
Yeah. For a pig to be loose, man, that's a long time. A pig can get into a lot of trouble in 18 days. I've seen many pigs eat many men.
That's what that 50 Cent song's about?
Yeah.
Many men wish pig upon me, blood of...
Oh, man.
They send in... It's like that in that movie Snatch where the guy's like, hey, you don't feed a pig for 3 fucking days and he'll chew through bone.
Yeah.
You know, like when the mafia feeds corpses to pigs?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's more of a cartel thing these days, but yeah.
Yeah, probably. David was actually one of the pigs in the pen. There'd be like 2 pigs and David, and it'd be like, oh, these pigs do a good job, but David, he eats all the pots the pigs won't. Asshole and teeth. And
it's because they need an alpha that'll take charge.
You'll eat all the hair.
Yeah.
You're the alpha.
The alpha hog, baby.
You're the alpha? Okay.
The hog dog.
I thought the Hat Man was the alpha. Oh, maybe you are the Hat Man.
It's possible.
That's true. Anyway, speaking of eating just about anything, Bay Area Ritz-Carlton sued after a woman was allegedly served semen-contaminated water.
That don't belong in the water.
So basically, in Half Moon Bay, where I have stayed, probably about a year ago, actually, like last October.
Where is that?
I stayed. It's like south of San Francisco a little bit. Yeah. But at a Ritz-Carlton, which is a very nice hotel, you know, like $800 a night, fucking resort, like nice shit. Jane and John Doe, they're real fucking names. No, they got to the hotel, and they're just like rich people, so they go all the time, and they're like, oh, we're out of waters, let's order some water. So they ordered like 5 waters or something from like the bottled waters from the front desk, and they got up and they put them in the room, and then she had on her nightstand, and in the middle of the night she reached over and grabbed it and opened it and was like, what the fuck, this tastes weird, like weird consistency. And then they're like, she like looked and opened it, and they like sent it to a lab, and the guy's like, yeah, this cum. And
so it was sealed, huh?
I don't. You know what? It was nighttime, so I bet she grabbed it and like opened it, not hearing like the crack. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like that's my biggest fear. Like I'm always afraid I'm
That's
gonna
your
take like
biggest
a
Cum
yeah.
water. Okay.
Cum water.
I mean, that's
you gotta
fine.
watch out.
That's fine.
What's your biggest fear?
The killer.
Oh, okay. So anyway, here's just some funny little notes I picked up from this. They're not funny, but she said they're not funny.
You know, silly.
Something's
She kind of funny here.
Yeah, the claims adjuster told them that the water was defiled with semen. That's kind of funny. Okay. They keep calling the guy a criminal deviant, which I think is kind of funny. And also, I'm not going to tell this lady what she can and can't call herself in this instance, because it's so fucked up and disgusting that like you can say whatever you want. But she keeps saying that she was sexually assaulted. But like the other thing is, I don't think like whoever did this knew that she was going to drink it, or that like
it's still a sexual act though.
Yeah, well that's my question. If you peed in the water, is that sexual assault? Because
I'm sure
some people
you
think
could,
pee is fetish.
Yeah, I'm sure you could swing it.
Oh, what if I spit in the water?
You could swing it.
Exactly. That's why I'm not like, you can't not say. I mean, you could say whatever you want because you're the victim here, and that sucks. But I just was like, I don't know. But my favorite part of all of this is the very end where it says they've been married for 25 years and say this incident has caused intimacy issues in their marital life, according to the lawsuit.
Love to make that public.
Why would they say that? I know they're trying to like, since they're suing the hotel.
Yeah.
And I think they're just like, we want to be like, this fucking ruined our lives. And here's the thing. If I drank semen water, I probably wouldn't be horny for a couple hours. Sure.
Yeah, but you know what?
But if you give me a Benadryl-filled cinnamon roll, then I'm back on the horny train.
Oh yeah,
you know,
worse than ever.
What's on this cinnamon roll? If you ask,
why is this so sticky?
I'm like, oh, it's so hot, and then you sip the water, and you're like, oh fuck. Anyway, so yeah, they fucking mad. They real mad about this.
Was it Dasani?
No, it was Ritz-Carlton themed water.
Okay. A little harder
Branded water.
I actually know that's probably easier to quality control.
Dasani tastes like it has cum in it.
Yeah. It's got sugar in it, man. Dasani's like, you know this, right? It's a Coca-Cola.
No.
Yeah, it's a Coca-Cola product. And I don't know if they still do, but they used to put sugar in it so you'd actually get thirstier while drinking it, so you drink more.
It's like the cockroach in Men in Black. He's like, sugar water.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
More.
Exactly.
Shit, that guy loves Dasani. Damn. Yeah, there's like a lot of fucking fucked up water companies that like I don't. The only one I really like. I used to not be a water snob, but now as I got older, I'm like, I'm like, I think Arrowhead tastes like shit. I don't like Arrowhead at all. I used to drink so much Arrowhead growing up. Now it tastes like dirty water. My favorite's Crystal Geyser.
Okay.
I'm a Crystal Geyser guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say like I like smart water, but I'm not rich either. You know, I'm a working man.
Yeah.
I'm a people's person.
There's only two places I like water from.
Where? Public fountain and a toilet.
The sink.
Hose
And the hose.
Yeah, the hose.
We got delicious tap water in Eugene, Oregon. Anybody ever visit, drink the tap water. It's delicious.
Yeah, I get kind of like freaked out when I go over to like your place and or anywhere in like the Pacific Northwest, and they're like, "You want some water?" And they just turn on the sink. I'm like, "Yeah, why don't you run that back, Chief?"
Nah, man, our tap water is delicious.
Yeah, we can't trust anything down here in LA. We don't know who's came in it.
That was the first thing I did when I lived in LA. Was I took a week to acclimate.
You came in the water?
No, acclimate. I drank all the water. Got so sick for like a week. Almost died, and then I was acclimated, and I was invincible.
Stronger than ever, actually. That's cool. That's cool. You could drink cum water for days and be fine.
I might.
It wouldn't ruin your sex life, right?
No.
Probably make it better.
I mean, yeah.
You're like, hitting me with a truck would make it better. You're like, what? I need to feel something.
All right. The Wiggles demand council to stop blaring Hot Potato 24/7 at the homeless.
Wait, who's council? Council's blaring it at the homeless people?
It looks like it's somewhere in Washington, but I'm getting hit with a. We've noticed you're not a subscriber. A free press isn't free. Subscribe for $2 a week.
Fuck that.
Yeah, but
I could already tell you why they're mad.
Well, from what I've gathered is that they're just basically looping Hot Potato at homeless people to drive them out of areas, and they don't like that.
Oh, that's what they're doing.
Yeah,
it's kind of fucked up because like that song's a banger, but it's also like mentioning my two favorite foods. It's hot potato and
homeless people.
Cold spaghetti.
Oh, okay.
That's the second verse, I believe.
Homeless people?
No. Cold spaghetti, because they go hot potato, hot potato, hot potato, 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 and then they go cold spaghetti, cold spaghetti, cold spaghetti, cold spaghetti, cold spaghetti, cold spaghetti, cold spaghetti. But then they also have fruit salad, yummy, yummy, which is a separate song.
Oh.
And then their third best song is probably Ooh, Is This Cum Water? Ooh, Is This Cum Water? Ooh, Is This Cum Water? It's more of an experimental track.
Okay. Got a little B-side.
I can't get a boner. Ooh, is this cum water? It's not the same. It looked me in the eyes when we're making love. Ooh, is this cum water? Sorry, I'm done now.
Are you? Okay.
Maybe.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how much more there is to gather from this story. But, yeah. I just know you love the Wiggles, so I had to.
I do love. Anthony's my favorite.
Yeah, we know. Hot Anthony.
I call him Hot Anthony. Anthony's my brother's name. I can't say that.
It's fine.
You're allowed to say your brother's hot.
Yeah.
David always tells me that. I'm like, stop. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
He's like, drink your water. It's fine.
Go ahead. Drink up, buddy. You look a little thirsty.
Drink up. Speaking of things not being water, Grubhub driver claims delivering cup of urine instead of milkshake was an accident. So, long story short.
That's an easy mix-up.
This Grubhub fucking driver gave this guy who ordered fries and a milkshake from it was Chick-fil-A. He ordered fries and a milkshake and he gave it to him. The guy went inside and jammed the straw in and took a sip. Oh. And he just said it was just like a half cup of warm piss. I don't know why he wouldn't realize it was a half filled cup.
Yeah.
But he just took a sip of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Okay, let's take a moment to look. Milkshake. Cold.
Yeah.
Heavier than a normal beverage.
Yes.
Usually in a unique container.
It was a styrofoam cup, so like maybe that insulates a little more. But I feel like, and it might be cold pee.
Have you ever had a?
Was it warm?
Have you ever had a milkshake in a styrofoam cup?
No. And also, this was a warm cup of urine apparently
Yes.
to the sipper.
Okay, so now we did cold, heavy, unique cup. Now let's
Taste.
now let's think about. I'm talking pre-taste. Cup of pee, half a cup of pee, significantly lighter.
Yes.
You're gonna feel more movement, sloshing around.
sloshing,
more liquid.
sloshing.
Warm. Did I already say that? Warm.
Yeah.
Smell.
But here's what you forget.
Yeah.
You ever been given a milkshake? You're always so excited to just take a sip of it. Nothing else matters.
I know.
You don't
I know. I'm going to
check
contradict
for
what
Benadryl.
I know. I'm going to contradict the joke we had earlier, but I'm not much of a sweets guy, so like I'm not really drinking milkshakes.
That's fair. I'm not drinking milkshakes on the reg, but like if a place is known for their milkshake,
Yeah.
and it comes in like the sidecar, like where they give you the milkshake in the glass thing that looks like an old 50s glass, like a soda shop glass,
Yeah.
and then they give you
Malt
the
shop.
sidecar, which yeah, exactly, and then they give you the metal container that has the rest of the milkshake. Like I'll fuck with that, but this guy just got Chick-fil-A one and just slammed his straw in there and took a big sipper, what is
Sipper down,
Blake
bang
say?
down.
Yeah, sipper down, bang down. Just,
Hell yeah.
And the guy was still out front. And he's like, "Yo, what the fuck?" He's like, "What is this?"
Oh,
And the guy's
I'd be
like,
throwing
shit."
hands.
Yeah, the guy was like, "Oh shit, this is your milkshake. That's my cup of pee." And he's like, "Why?" And he goes, I pee in cups. Like, I'm sorry, like when I drive around." And then he's like, "What the fuck?" And here's the best part. His like meal, like what he ordered, cost like $22, and they only refunded him like $18 for like the food, and they kept like the delivery fees and stuff.
Yeah, the one thing you shouldn't get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing too. I just have to say this. That was Grubhub, but apparently DoorDash now is warning people that if you don't tip, that your food might show up cold.
Yeah, they're saying it's gonna take longer if you don't tip.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up
Yeah.
because you have to tip before you receive the food. So if like after you order, you immediately tip. And we did that one time because I don't believe in Grubhub, or if you're doing it, it's fine. But I just don't believe in it. I don't believe in paying a premium for fast food.
Yeah.
It's just go get it if you're not going to cook at home. But we ordered it and we tipped, and then it took them like a half an hour longer, and it was cold. And I'm like, so do we get our money back or tip? Like, I didn't throw a fit because I was like, I don't, whatever. But
Yeah.
I was like, God, these apps suck. They're going to crash and burn. I have a very good feeling about
Well,
it.
I mean, that's also coming from you living in Los Angeles.
Why? What's the difference?
Bigger population, more people using it, less people doing it, longer distances. Longer
Are you saying that?
waits.
But what's your point? Are you saying that it's thriving here or it's going to fail here?
Well, I'm just saying that it's more difficult to get food quicker in a bigger city because more people are ordering food. It's going to take longer for the food to get cooked. Things just take longer. Traffic.
Yeah, you're right. But I feel like they guesstimate that a little bit based off of like previous orders. Like how long did it take for it to get made? I don't know. It is fast food in the end, so it should be fast if you're ordering it. But it does seem like fast food has kind of slowed down over the years. Like, and
it's so
increased in
expensive.
price.
It's so expensive now. It's insane. What's even the point of doing it?
I know. And they just go, "Oh, we're paying our workers more, so you guys have to pay for that. And you also have to pay tips. And you also have to," and you're like, "Oh my God,
Yeah.
like I'm not eating here anymore. Like this fucking sucks. It already hurts my stomach."
There's nothing worse than waiting forever for like a Postmates, and then you get it and it's the wrong thing.
Oh,
That happened to me in LA a couple of times when I lived there, and it was just like the worst.
I've never myself ordered through any of those delivery apps, but
Yeah.
I've had people who are like, "Oh, I do this all the time," so they'll order, and I'm like, "I'd rather just go pick it up," and they're like, "No, it's fine, we'll order." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay." I just don't like paying them because I just don't like the business model. I feel like they overcharge a lot.
Oh yeah.
It's like fucking $9 more, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like
When
this
the delivery
is
is more
crazy.
than the item you're getting.
And the food always fucking sucks. The fries are always shitty. The burger's always cold.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've never had a good experience. I'm like, why are we doing this?
Yeah. There was one time I got done with a shoot and it went way over time, and it was like a 20-hour shoot, and I get home and I'm just like starving, and I'm like just like beat down, and I ordered like a hamburger, and it gets delivered. It gets delivered. I'm just like so tired, and I just want to eat a hamburger, and I go and get the food, and it was like a vegan lettuce wrap.
Oh no!
Just not what I ordered, and it was absolutely heartbreaking. I was distraught.
Yeah. One time I took a bite of something that I thought was going to be a turkey and bacon and like lettuce sandwich from like Subway, and it was a tuna sandwich.
Oh.
Yeah, talk about
it's
a
not
fucking
even
gut
a tuna
punch.
It's not even tuna. There's no tuna in Subway.
And it had
tuna.
cum in it.
It definitely has cum in it.
Tuna, the cum of the sea. I like tuna. Wait.
Straight out the can. Sure.
Yeah, you have to put it on a saucer for me, and I got to eat it on my hands and legs.
You get to sip the juice. Subway doesn't give you the juice, you know?
Yeah, fair. But yeah, don't be ordering from them if you like piss, order from them. If you like cum, go to Ritz-Carlton. But if you want a good hearty meal, come down to David and Alex's Steakhouse.
If you want a good hearty nap, come on down to the Pigpen Bakery.
We serve all of our food in sleep pods, so you can eat it straight off your fucking chest and go to sleep immediately after.
We'll blend it up so you can sip it down with a straw.
Sip her down, bang down.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I think we're caught up on the news.
Oh, no, we're not. I got one more.
Oh shit, you came with 3 too. You guys getting a lot of news today.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we had a drought, and I know it was at least last week where it's like there's nothing worth reading. Maybe it was the one before, but...
it's been a couple hard weeks.
Yeah. Ginger Gooch appointed to Missouri Supreme Court, maintaining female majority.
No, her name is Ginger Gooch?
Her name is Ginger Gooch.
Look, does she have red hair?
No, it's blonde.
Boo!
I mean,
Well,
that's all
them.
you need. You don't need anything else. It's just that there is a Missouri Supreme Court member named Ginger Gooch.
They're like, I mean, yay for inclusivity. That's good for her. I love that.
Yeah.
Maintaining the, what is it, woman majority or women?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
Their
Something
Supreme
like
Court has female majority, which is surprising for Missouri. I don't know much about Missouri, but.
Do you think that they sat there and were like, okay, we need to like keep the woman majority, and they're like, the only way the men will vote for this is if we put Ginger Gooch in there.
Yeah, it's possible.
And they're like,
you know,
they're like,
the age.
Sorry, Rebecca Green, you're not making it this year. Ginger Gooch is having a crazy run right now.
You know, the age gap of like 18 to 25 males, 100%, 110% voted for Ginger Gooch.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think that, should I do that with like everything? Should I just change my name?
Yeah. What would you change it to, though?
Ball sack.
Ball sack. How would you spell it?
Yeah. BAHL.
Okay.
S. DS. It's a silent. No. It's a silent D, like Django.
Yeah.
And then DSA, 3 C's.
3 C's?
Yeah. Ball de sack.
Glad he didn't say K. Okay.
You gotta add some flair to it, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to get the Republican vote. I'm sorry. We getting political up in here.
Oh yeah. I do have one more little note I want to make before we start talking about our stories.
Is it news?
No.
Okay.
But we have a huge thank you to our amazing listener, Amanda, who won our monster bracket.
Oh.
Because she actually went back and went through every episode and typed out
Yo, what?
what topics we did and emailed it to us.
Oh no, I'm afraid I've done this topic already then. No, I don't think I did. My topic today.
Yeah, I know.
really
I know
hope
for sure I didn't. We did not do my topic, but
Oh my god. Well, thank you, Amanda. That's fucking crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I
we don't.
Wow,
we do not
that's very
deserve.
helpful.
We do not deserve that at all.
And shout out to Daughtry who gave Starwave some money, so that's cool.
Hey,
Thank
there
you.
you go.
Appreciate it. Donations. Yay.
Woo.
But yeah, that's fantastic. Holy shit. Great. Okay. Is that it? Is that the episode? We're done, right?
Yeah. See you guys in 2 weeks.
I got a lot of water to drink. Okay. Anyway, let's get into these stories. Here we go. Okay. Now, David knows this. I don't know I think I mentioned this on the last pod, but I went to Boston. I think I'll go to Boston. I sang that a couple times. And I went to Boston this past week, spent 4 days there. And while I was in Boston, I traveled up to the small colonial town of Salem, Massachusetts.
Oh yeah.
The home of the witch trials. So I wanted to just do like it's a very extensive history if you want to go through probably each victim, but I kind of just want to touch on some big ones. Sorry, that verbiage is weird.
Oh, I got one of those lags again, and it was you going like a like a very cool song.
I started laughing because I said I wanted to touch on some big ones, and
There you go. Yeah.
I'm sweating now. Anyway, so I wanted to
Lost it there
cover
again for
a
a
couple
second.
of the fucking goddamn it, man.
It was doing
So
so
I
good
just-
for a while.
I know. But basically, I wanted to touch on some of the bigger stories that like people kind of know about, and like a general history of the Salem Witch Trials, but not go in too depth because that would just be a 30-hour long podcast.
Yeah.
So today I'm going to be covering a little bit of the Salem Witch Trials and a little bit what I experienced there. Okay. So the Salem Witch Trials occurred in the towns of Salem and Danvers, probably a couple other little towns because it was like it was like a township. It was a couple different towns all compiled into one. In colonial Massachusetts, massive two shits, between early 1692 and mid 1693. So it only lasted 6 years.
Which is
I thought
crazy.
it went. But here's the thing. In England, it like went on for like
It's like dog years.
decades.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were like, fuck, we love burning people.
Yeah.
But like it also makes sense because like actually this is kind of weird. So when it was tapering off in Europe, that's when it started up in the United States. So like England did it, or like the UK did it for like 100 years before, and then the Puritans and Christians came over here and they're like, maybe we should like try doing some of this shit, and they started like burning witches and stuff like that, or so-called witches. But like I said, 1692 to mid. Oh, what? I said 6 years. This is a year and a half. I'm sorry. I'm dumb.
Wait, what?
Oh my God, no! It's between early 1692 and mid 1693, so about a year and a half. I'm sorry. I thought I did wrong. Quick math.
So it only lasted for a year and a half in America?
Apparently.
That's way shorter than I thought.
I know. It's kind of crazy. So during that time, more than 200 people were accused of practicing witchcraft, and out of those 200, around 20 were killed, which I thought it was going to be a lot more, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I think 20 were executed, and then like there's a couple casualties from like, being stuck in the horrible prisons and dungeons basically that they had.
Yeah.
But still, I thought it was like in the hundreds, and they're like, no, like 20. But like, it's such a unique, weird situation in, American history that like, I just think it's kind of left its mark.
Yeah.
So the cause of the witch hunting is up for debate. Some stating that it sprouted from dwindling resources in the colonies, to petty revenge and even just straight up greed amongst the townspeople. But one thing is for sure, and that is that innocent people were killed in the name of stupidity and mob mentality. Yeah.
Love that mob mentality.
Yeah, and like just like crazy religious, like, fanatics and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's
crazy how like I would be like, man, this is like a cool time to live because like everybody believes in like witchcraft and that's kind of cool. But like,
yeah, but
they thought like we believe in it for like, oh, this is kind of fun, like the devil and witchcraft and warlocks and goblins. Or like
they believed
fun.
in it with fear.
Yes,
it's more celebrated today.
Yeah, 100%. Where it's like, yeah, it's fiction, it's fun. So witch trials were nothing new, though, as I said, as Europe had practiced the art of accusing and murdering mostly women from the 1300s to the 1600s. So 300 years about,
okay.
based on hearsay evidence and blind faith, as the Catholic Church believed that the devil was capable was capable in providing dark powers to those who entered a deal with the Lord of the Flames. So they just were like, yeah, the devil just like gives people powers. Although the Christian witch trials in Europe were winding down around this time, the Puritans in the new colonies were just about to ramp up with those very same beliefs in the devil and his black magic treaties. So basically, Puritans, I believe, are just like Christians who just don't believe that the Christian church went far enough or something like that. So they were just like a little bit more extreme, or just like, I don't know, like if somebody asked me the difference between Catholicism and Christianity, I couldn't tell you.
No, God, no.
I was confirmed Catholic, but I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, and then there's like Puritans, and then there's like
there's so many.
Yeah, I don't remember the other guy. There's a couple of guys.
LeBron James.
Him, the Jameses.
Yeah.
Oh, one funny thing about the Puritans is that they fucking named their children weird names.
Okay.
Like they would name one like kid Difficulty.
Oh.
Or like
Mother Killer.
Maybe like Napkin though.
Widowmaker.
That's cool. Wow, that's cool. Mammoth. Saber-tooth. Fucker. Ball sack.
F-150.
See, that is cool. That is cool. So it was a man by the name of Reverend Samuel Parris who became Salem Village's, because that's what it was called. Salem Village was not necessarily just the town of Salem. It was like Danvers and all these other like little towns around it. But Salem Village was much wider. So this guy Samuel Parris became the Reverend of Salem's Village, and he was the first ordained minister in 1689, and quickly gained the reputation for his rigid ways and greedy nature. Wow, I'm so glad this guy's fucking in charge of stuff.
Yeah.
And as we all know, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree when it comes to piece of shit people, as Elizabeth Parris, Samuel's 9-year-old daughter, and 11-year-old niece Abigail Williams started having fits. Oh, fits. I love fits. So they screamed through things, babbled made-up words, and contorted themselves into strange positions. I think I throw fits.
Yeah, it's called yoga, dog. Calm down.
Yeah. Oh, liberals.
Goddamn
fucking liberals. Yo, what you gonna shavasana, and then you fucking your arm goes up here, and
you know what the scariest thing in the world is?
What?
A Republican witch. That puts like shivers down my spine just thinking about it.
You know what puts shivers down my spine?
What?
Houndstooth. I don't know what that means. No, DeSantis in those high-heeled cowboy boots.
Oh, yeah, that's something. I mean, I feel like we could do a deep dive into that.
That's a theory, dude. You know that people think that he has high heels?
He got called out on it on like a I don't know if it was a podcast or a radio interview.
Like, take your boots off?
Well, the host was like, I got you a pair of my favorite like shoes.
Stop.
Like
stop.
Like put them on. And
stop.
And he was
dude,
like,
stop.
I can't accept gifts. I can't accept those.
Be like, can you just try them on? I just want to see if they look good on you. And he's like, that's not my style.
Yeah.
I have a bunion and a corn. I can't put this on. What if he took off his shoes
Uh-huh.
and he had the most beautiful women's feet you've ever seen?
Just dainty little things.
Yeah, like he's got an only foots.
Or he just had hooves.
Oh,
What if he had
that is
little
cool.
crocodile feet.
That would be cool. What if he just had like two little chicken feet? Let's keep this going. What if he had two like little sticks of salami poking out the bottom of his pant legs?
See, I'd love if he had like little dog feet. You know when you lift a dog up and the little feet are like on the ground?
Yeah.
Lift them up like that. Well, he had little dog feet.
What if he had his like two Charleston shoes in the boots?
Porcelain doll feet. They clanked around on the night floor.
What if he had two cans of Febreze just sticking out the bottom of the pant legs? Ocean breeze.
That man walked funny because his feet are sledgehammers.
We could do this all day. Do you guys like this?
We just morphed into what else we got into talking about DeSanto's feet.
What actually his feet look like. Anyway, okay. So like I said, they were just babbling and contorting themselves and being little stupid assholes, basically. And just being like, ooga booga doo 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 doo, and then just like, fucking walking, doing the Exorcist crawl down the stairs.
Love it.
So, and then I wrote after this, that's me if you were to give me a box of goobas. So
Still haven't found another box of goobas.
Goobers, you guys know goobers?
Love those things.
Chocolate covered raisins. Oh, peanuts? What are they?
Chocolate or peanuts? They're actually pretty good. It's surprising that they're not more mainstream.
Oh, I just feel like it's like there's so much shit going on with candy nowadays.
So
you got
much.
fucking Nerds Rope, and you want me to eat a fucking chocolate covered
like
peanut?
Oh, you want to chop up a Snickers without the caramel or the nougat?
Oh, I didn't like how you said that.
Which one?
Caramel.
Caramel or nougat?
I'm okay with nougat. That's the only way to. You didn't say nougat. But I did not like that caramel line. That was fucked up. I feel like you're a witch.
Bitch, I might be. I'm not very good at it.
Not very good at casting spells.
Shit keeps backfiring. Keep cursing myself.
Just make myself uglier. I should stop casting the ugly spell. So, I wrote, a local stupid-ass doctor blamed the supernatural because anyone could be a doctor back then as long as you had the stomach to cut off someone's foot with a saw. It's so true. People are just like, fucking doctors are like, dude, I feel like I could have been a doctor back then.
Hey,
I don't like how...
foot, we gotta get rid of that thing.
They're like, sir, take off your shoes. They're like, this is a Game Boy. What is this? You have Game Boy feet.
What?
Sir. I'm just trying to do the DeSantis thing again.
No, we're not going back into it.
Okay, sorry. But like, I feel like doctors back then, like the bar is so high now, but back then it's like,
before medical school?
Well, that's the thing. They had medical school, but all you would do was show up and cut open a body, and they would show you where the parts of us were inside. But they didn't know what to do when somebody was actually sick, so they'd put leeches on them, or they would look at someone's leg and be like, "We have to cut this off." Yeah. I'll give them some credit. Like, don't get me wrong, they were doctors in the end. They did save people's lives, but it was so like brutal back then that it was just like, yeah, the doctor showed up and he's like, they're having fits because the supernatural. And I was like, what an easy out. Not like these girls are...
The only test
assholes.
to become a doctor back then was to see who and who did not throw up into the open chest cavity.
Basically. They're like, how many saws does it take to get to the other side of a foot? Crazy. So, their friend 12-year-old Anna Putnam Jr., they brought another fucking kid in, experienced similar episodes because little girls and boys are solely motivated by wanting to be accepted and cool in front of their friends, so they all do the same dumb stuff once one kid starts doing it. So that's basically how the Salem Witch Trial started. It's basically if the fucking Fortnite dances were seen as like fucking witch shit.
I love busting out the Fortnite L dance because nothing infuriates people more than seeing a 33-year-old man poorly do that.
Yeah, that's like if I went up and I said skibbity toilet and then they just like burned me.
Yeah.
Kids. I don't understand what all that skibbity toilet
I don't
is.
know. I saw a video that was like breaking down the lore of it, and I thought it was just a nonsense post that someone was making up on the spot. I didn't realize that it was like a thing.
It's like anti-humor because I just see kids being like skibbity toilet, grimace in Ohio, Divvy Lun, fucking
Livy
baby Gronk,
Dunn.
rizzed up Ohio. I'm like, oh my god, it's like anti-humor.
Yeah.
It's funny, but like, holy shit,
That's
these
where we're
kids
going
are
these days.
they're ruined. Yeah. Anyway, so they were skibbity toileting all over the floor, and that's why people thought they were possessed by witches. So under pressure from the magistrates, Jonathan Corwin and John Hawthorne, the girls blamed 3 women for afflicting them. Tituba, who's I think the most famous person to come out of there, a Caribbean woman enslaved by the Paris family. So, Papa Paris, the guy who's the reverend running shit, that was like his slave, apparently.
Yeah.
Sarah Good, a homeless beggar, and Sarah Osborne, an elderly, impoverished woman. So if you guys seen The Crucible, I think they're all in there, that play, The Crucible, or the movie The Crucible. Because these are like the 3 women that were like of the first ones charged.
Okay.
So all 3 women were interrogated. And here's the thing. They also went after like women who were like not upstanding in society. So they'd be like, oh, a minority woman, or like a poor person, or like a loner, or like a crone. Yeah, exactly. A streamer. They all need to go. But yeah, so they would just go after these people because they're easy to pin the blame on because people didn't like them in the first place.
Yeah.
They're like, you're other. Let's make you a witch or dead or blame you for all of our problems. Yeah. So all 3 women were interrogated, and Good and Osborne, both Sarahs, claimed innocence, but Tituba doubled down and fucked over the whole crew. As she was stated as saying, the devil came to me and bid me serve him. She described elaborate images of black dogs, red cats, yellow birds, and a tall man with white hair who wanted her to sign his book. Who was that?
Sign my book.
Was that Anthony Bourdain?
Please sign my book.
Sign my book. What is this? This is a dictionary, sir. So, she admitted that she. Okay, so here's the thing. She admitted that she signed the book of the white-haired tall man. Eat the cinnamon bun. I'm the Hat Man. She admitted she signed the book and claimed that there were several other witches looking to destroy the Puritans. So she looked in the book and was like, yeah, I saw like a bunch of names in there of people that I know around here. And I'm like, here's the thing I feel bad about. We'll get into this in a second, but like, she was like beaten pretty severely to give this testimony by Samuel Parris, the Reverend.
Yeah.
So I don't really blame her, but like that sucks for everybody else that like
stayed
that
true
lie
and
affected.
yeah.
But like I don't really blame her. She's a victim of circumstance.
Well,
So
it
it's
kind of just sounds like that classic like movie trope when like someone is just beaten to the point that they'll just admit to anything that like they're trying to get her to admit to just to make it stop.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. So during trial, Sarah Good never confessed to being a witch. No snitches. She did, however, accuse Osborne of being a witch and physically harming people in the community. So she fucked over the other Sarah. And then Good was eventually hanged. So she was like, I'm not a witch, but Sarah Osborne is, and then they hanged her anyway.
Yeah.
Osborne, meanwhile, never confessed, nor did she accuse anyone else of being a witch. She's the goat. Osborne just kept it shut. But she died in jail before she was brought to trial, which sucks.
Yeah, that's a bad place to
And
die.
then Tituba, on the other hand, recanted her story and said that she only said what she said because her master, Samuel Parris, beat her into a confession.
Yeah.
And she was later bailed out of jail after 13 months. So she actually lived.
Okay.
So that was kind of interesting in that. Also, when I went to Salem, they brought us to where the dungeons were underneath this like building, and they were like 4 foot by they were like 2 feet by 2 feet cells where you just like stand in a little hole basically.
Yeesh.
With like a cage, and then you just like shit and piss and eat and like not move from that area, like sleep basically standing up. It was like horrible.
Yeah.
And they even put like a 4-year-old down there, like in the
Jesus.
beginning. Yeah, and then they got her out eventually. Somebody paid for her like bail, but by that time she had been down there for like 8 months, and she like went crazy at like 4 years old. I'm like, how terrifying and horrible.
Yeah.
That's why I don't blame any of these women for like doing what they did, because like in reality, it's like this Samuel Parris guy and his stupid little daughters and their friends who are like fucking everybody over.
Yeah.
So I don't blame any of the victims. It's just shitty.
Yeah.
So, speaking of another group of victims, charges against 72-year-old Martha Corey, a loyal member of the church in Salem Village, greatly concerned the community because like they're like, Martha Corey's kind of an OG, and she's 72. Like
That's
like, we
old as
trust
fuck
her.
for back then.
Oh my God, dude, let me get into it. So, like I said, they were concerned in the community because if she could be a witch, then anyone could, because she was such like an old little woman who went to church every day, and they're like, oh, she's a witch. So they also went after her, 81-year-old husband, Giles Corey, who kept silent during his interrogation instead of confessing. So here's the thing.
I didn't realize they went after men.
Yeah, very few, but they would sometimes go after men. And here's the thing. If you confessed to being a witch, they would sometimes let you live if like they couldn't really make the connection. Like I said, 200 people were accused of being witches.
Yeah.
Only 20 were executed. So you had to have like some pretty damning evidence. But they used this. I'll just read this right here. The reason he did this was because Martha and Giles had children and land, which meant they were planning on passing the land onto their children. But if you confess to witchcraft, the government can take your land and use it how they wish. So it was a big scam, basically, from the government
Yeah.
to get land from people that they wanted, and they would like either take it and repurpose it for like government land or like resell it to somebody else. So it was a way of extorting people and be like, you're a witch. So you could either die or you could confess, and if you confess, you get to live, but we take all your shit.
Okay.
So it was like a big scam from the government, which is like fucked in itself. Or maybe it was like technically religious leaders. I don't really know who was like really profiting off this, but the government would take the land.
Yeah.
So Giles refused to give his land up because he wanted to pass it on to his children. So he kept quiet and was found guilty. And was found guilty as punishment. I don't know how I wrote that. Sheriff George Corwin, as punishment, Sheriff George Corwin took the 81-year-old man, laid a door down on top of him, and stacked rocks on top of the door for 3 days. I think we've talked about this.
Jesus.
It's called pressing,
Okay.
and it's
Well, I
it's
mean,
a way.
doors back then I don't think were very light, you know. I think that was just like pure solid wood. So the door alone was probably heavy as shit.
I feel like I've seen like an 81-year-old guy like get a piece of paper dropped on his hand and he just breaks into a
Crumbles.
million. Yeah, this guy was like, "Yeah, we're gonna take a 1600s door and lay it on you." Like that is insane. So they laid it on top of him, and then they would stack stones on top of it. And the reason they did this, Samuel Parris was trying to get a confession out of the man because he was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna torture him then to get him to admit that he's possessed by the devil." And he's like, "Fuck you." So
More like Samuel Panini Press.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
More like Samuel Panera.
Ooh.
More like Samuel Pitch. He's a little pitch. Little pussy pitch. Okay, fuck this guy. So I said they did this for 3 days because they even fed him morsels of food and drips of water, like tinctures of water, to keep him alive. So like just enough to be like, are you still hungry and thirsty? Good, you're still alive, but we're still gonna lay this door on you and stack rocks.
Yeah.
But after Giles responded to a confession request, they're like, say that you're possessed by the devil and you're doing the devil's work. He said this famous quote that is still known today. Do you know what he said?
No. I might recognize it when you say it, but not off the top of my head.
So, like I said, they're stacking rocks on top of the door, and they said, confess that, you bid the devil's work, or you do the bidding of the devil. And instead of confessing, he just said, more weight. But I have a theory.
Or was he saying more, wait?
Dude, wait, did I tell you that joke already?
No.
What? Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
Dude, you took my joke.
Ha-ha.
Okay, I was saying, I told the tour guide this, and I go, do you think that he was saying more weight, or do you think he was saying more weight? And she's like, oh, that's interesting. I'm like, this is a joke. I didn't think he was actually saying that.
This changes everything.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, more weight. So that's my joke that I kept saying around Salem, and
Good.
no one liked it. So, so Sheriff Corwin, after he said more weight, he said it like a bunch of times instead of confessing. Sheriff Corwin, the sheriff at the time, started jumping up and down on the door until Giles died.
Jesus.
Yeah, this guy's a menace. And apparently when he died, like his tongue was like kind of like it was pushed out of his mouth a little bit, like, like that, like classic dead guy. And the sheriff took his cane and pushed Core's tongue back into his mouth before leaving the crushed man to rest under those rocks. So, yeah. So Martha also did not fare well, as she was hanged 3 days later, also never confessing.
Nice.
Legally allowing their children to inherit the land. So go the Coreys. Fuck yeah. They didn't get the land. And Sheriff Corwin, that fucking guy that jumped up and down on the door, even tried extorting the children after he killed their parents. So they're adult children at this point.
Yeah.
They're probably in their like 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
But he tried extorting them after killing their parents, demanding money from them. But luckily they didn't pay, and they actually sued him in turn. And I don't think they ever settled the lawsuit because dumbass Sheriff Corwin died 4 years later of a heart attack at the age of 30.
Okay, how do you die of a heart attack at the age of 30 in, what was this,
1690 something?
Like, they got no McDonald's.
Yeah, 1692.
What's he doing to get himself a fucking heart attack? You know what I mean? Like, how is that even a thing?
He's exerting himself too much by jumping on doors and shit.
30? Like, come on.
No, I know. He would probably say that he got cursed by Giles or something.
Yeah, what a bozo.
Yeah, like, I just can't believe it. A 26-year-old sheriff jumping on an 81-year-old man. I'm picturing it right now, and it's just like the most insane shit. You're like, oh, this is how America was founded? This seems about right.
It makes more sense now that I know he was younger when he was jumping on the door.
That's true. I kind of thought the same thing. I was like, who be acting like this? And I'm like, oh, this like young guy who's given too much power.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, cool. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, good. I just love that. Like Giles Corey's like, yo, I got 81 years, dumbass. You got 30.
Yeah.
Like I died in like a horrible way, but like I died with my integrity.
Yeah.
And you are known for jumping on an 81-year-old man and having a heart attack at 30, dumbass.
Yeah.
So I love that.
That's a Fortnite L dance right there.
Yeah, they wouldn't even fucking bury him in the graveyard because like people are gonna fuck with his body. Stop doing the Fortnite dance, you devil.
Whatever.
You witch.
A little late, couple hundred years late.
But yeah, they wouldn't bury him in the graveyard because like everybody's gonna fuck with his body. They're gonna dig him up and like fucking pull down his pants and stuff. So they had to like go and like, yeah, they had to like go and like strategically bury him somewhere that like people didn't know about. So when Minister Colton, okay, this is a weird Puritan name, and his son has a weirder name, I think. So when Minister Cotton Mather wrote a letter to the courts, asking that spectral evidence, like testimony about dreams and visions be thrown out due to the inconsistency and lack of evidence, he was largely ignored as most people were hanged in the following months. So like this minister is like, hey, can we like toss out like people being like, I had a dream of Martha Corey and she was with a dog and they like they ran at me and cursed me, and they're like, that is evidence. And he's like, you guys, that's not fucking evidence.
Yeah.
Like, can we toss that out? And they're like, no, we're still going to hang these people. So more people got hanged, like 6 or 7 people got hanged. But his son, who's the fucking president of Harvard, his name was Increase Mathers.
Wow.
That's a name.
Yeah.
There was one woman whose child's name was Difficulty because she was so difficult to birth at the time.
Yeah. I assume so. That's why I said mother killer.
Oh, yeah. Actually, in that story, the mom went out into the woods and killed her daughter, and then they accused her of witchcraft. But in reality, she was dealing with, she had like 8 or 9 kids, which was like crazy at the time because like every time you had a kid, you could die.
Yeah.
And she was dealing with postpartum depression, basically.
Damn.
She killed one of her kids out there, and then she said, I would have killed them all if I had the chance. And they're like, yeah, you're a witch, and they killed her.
Yeah.
Which is...
I mean, she kind of deserved to die regardless.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you know, even today, if somebody has postpartum depression and kills 3 of their children, like, you know, I do have sympathy for her in a way to be like, oh,
100%.
Mental illness.
Yeah.
But, so, like I said, president of Harvard stepped in, and son of Cotton Mather, the minister, and his name was Increase Mather, who actually got some traction because he followed in his father's footsteps, and he denounced the use of spectral evidence as well, stating, it were better that 10 suspected witches should escape than 1 innocent person be condemned, which is kind of like the question we have now about, like, the prison system. You know, it's like, do we throw all the criminals in jail and some innocent people get put in jail, or do we, you know, do process and some criminals get out, but like no innocent people go into prison? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like the conundrum I feel like people have always brought up, and obviously I feel like we do a little bit of both, so it's still not perfect. But when Governor William Phipps heard about this denouncement from the president of Harvard, which is crazy to think about that the president of Harvard like basically helped end the witch trials. Not really, because we're going to find out why they actually ended. When Governor William Phipp heard about the denouncement, he took it serious, not because he was a good guy or believed Increase Mather, but because now his wife was also being accused. So Phipps prohibited further arrest and released many accused witches and dissolved the Court of Oyer and Terminer, replacing it with a Superior Court of Judicature, which disallowed spectral evidence and condemned just 3 of the 56 defendants. So basically, when his wife was on the chopping block, he's like, yeah, we can't do like dreams, and there's no like weird spectral evidence anymore. It has to be like concrete, because his wife was in danger at that point.
For sure.
When it started affecting them, that's when they're like, we have to end this shit.
Yeah.
But in reality, they're just like attacking people that like they had vendettas against, and they wanted their land. So, and just to kind of wrap this up, May of 1693, Phipps had pardoned all those imprisoned on witchcraft charges, but 20 people had already been executed, like I said, and 5 died in the horrible jail conditions that were basically like a dungeon. And even a couple animals were killed. No, including 2 dogs believed to have been linked to the devil.
Poor dogs. Not the invisible dogs. They go haunt the
Oh,
town.
fuck, man.
What a
Maybe they
rampant. They're biting people in the buttocks.
Oh, they're
nipping at them calves.
Oh, one of them bit my ball sack. That's why my name is Ball Sack. Nice to meet me. They call him Ball Sack because he don't have one no more. Invisible dog bit it off.
Yeah, they're trying to make up for, you know, a little embarrassed.
Work.
A little embarrassed by that invisible dog biting his ball sack off. So now they call him Ball
If
Sack.
you get rid of the ball sack and make the dong look bigger,
Yeah.
everybody know that. He's like, you could have just shaved, and he's like, oh shit,
Shaved a little bit too much off the top.
off the bottom. Shaved a ball sack to non-existence. So, damage control was now underway as many accused wished to have their good names restored. Well, at least the ones still alive wished to have their good names restored. I mean, they tried to do it with like, Giles and Martha, and they got that.
Yeah.
People were like, oh, they weren't really witches, and I don't think anybody actually believed. Many people were. Maybe the woman who killed her daughter, maybe they believed she was still. But in the end, the Salem Witch Trials stand as a testament to what happens when closed-minded, uninformed, religious nuts become vindictive, greedy, and hateful. I wish we learned from this shitty behavior, but as we all know, the Red Scare took hold 2 times during the 1900s that also resulted in ruined lives. People being like, you're a communist. Oh, you're blackballed. Oh, your career's over. Or you got to move. Or we put you in jail. Like, that shit happened.
Yeah.
That's the Red Scare, basically. It's the same as the witch trials. Just people weren't being executed. They were being thrown in jail or being blackballed.
But it was a little more realistic that they were Russian spies and not witches.
Yeah, for sure. But people used it as a weapon.
Yeah.
Like there were Russian spies, there were Americans, there's still spies today all
yeah.
over the world for every country. But it was being weaponized,
Yeah.
and that's the shitty part. It wasn't a due process. It was, I don't like you, you're a spy.
Yeah.
If you've seen Oppenheimer, to finish this off, I just hope I never have to defend myself against against dogmatic idiots who demand fictional proof for made-up crimes carried out by imaginary forces. But we will see. Oh, I'm waiting for Red Scare 3.
That'll be sick.
Red Scare 3. Red Scare 3. Red Scare 3.
It'd be a lot harder
Anyway.
to track down.
Yeah. I'd be like, I can't be a spy. Look at this Fortnite dance. Or, goddamn, that boy's American. That's a good one.
Look how fast I can eat this Wendy's burger.
It's cold. Ice cold in the middle, just the way I like it. They're like, he's Russian.
Yeah.
He loves the cold.
Exactly. You might do a
Fuck.
little backtracking on that one.
I think I fucked myself.
All right, Tobin. Being that, I guess I should say that I had a work accident and my right hand is all wrapped
His
up.
ball sack's gone.
The ball sack's gone. I can't type. I can only type with my left hand, so this story will likely be short and full of typos.
And only with letters on the left side of the keyboard.
Oh, I move all over the place. Traveling man. But let's get into it.
What's your word again?
The Killer.
The Killer. Okay, yeah. Let's hear this. I'm very intrigued.
No creative intro on this one. This is simply Wendy Williams and The Killer.
Wendy Williams, the talk show host.
Now, Tobin, do you have much knowledge of Wendy Williams?
I have a little knowledge of Wendy Williams. One of my favorite bits is when she passes out dressed as the Statue of Liberty, and then that one's really good. And my other favorite bit is when they cut to the zombie, and she goes, "What was that?" That one is so good. And then also,
hold on,
dude,
I've got one that I
Okay.
want to share myself.
Okay, is it the Drew Carey one?
No, it's not. So go ahead.
The Drew Carey one, Drew Carey was married to a woman, or it was like his ex-wife or his current wife. I think it was his ex-wife or something like that. And she died by falling off of a balcony or like a fire escape on the side of her apartment.
Yeah.
And she fell and died. And she was reporting this on her show. And she's like, this is Drew Carey's ex-wife. And she goes, come on down. Like making a joke that she like fell, but it's also like the Price is Right, like come on down. And the audience goes, oh. Everybody goes, oh.
Yeah.
No. And she goes, like she does not have like the frontal lobe in her brain.
No.
She just says what comes into her head. And it's kind of funny, but she's such a piece of shit that like it's not. Like she's so bad.
So
she's a piece of shit.
I personally don't have much knowledge of her aside from like the viral videos of her saying something incredibly outlandish, or that time she fainted and or farted, because I'm pretty sure there is a video where she farts then faints. I think my favorite Wendy moment is the one that made headlines when she was talking about the testimony of Britney Spears's I can't say that word.
Conservatorship?
Conservatorship, where she said, "How dare you, Mr. Spears? You had me fooled. And you too, Mrs. Spears. Death to them all."
Yeah, that's right. She did say that.
As an audible gasp floods in from the crowd.
Death,
So unnecessary.
death to you all.
No, death to them all. Oh, death to all of them.
That's fucking crazy just to say it on like live TV. I just saw another one where she was talking to some woman who had lost weight, and she was like, I lost weight. And she goes, and Wendy goes, how'd you lose weight? And she goes, and she's like kind of like hesitant, and she goes, you bulimic? And the woman goes, no, I'm not bulimic. It was weight loss surgery. It was like she goes, and Wendy goes, oh, okay. Oh, you just cheated. Who cares? You cheated.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
You didn't work for it. You just cheated. You paid for it.
Yeah, don't tell this woman she cheated. Like, I'm like, what are you doing? She like, oh my god, she's fucking nuts. But the pass out is the best. I love that pass out.
So before I get too far, for our listeners who are unaware of who Wendy Williams is, just a little background. Wendy Joan Hunter, also known as Wendy Williams, is an American former broadcaster, media personality, and writer. From 2008 to 2021, she hosted the nationally syndicated TV show, The Wendy Williams Show, which was like, was it a morning talk show? It was a talk show. She'd have guests.
Probably midday talk show.
And yeah, she was very well known for just kind of being a loose cannon and very unpredictable.
Yeah.
And over that 2008 to 2021 time span hosting her show, fans started to notice Wendy just couldn't help herself revealing her biggest fear: the killer.
What?
Do you not know anything about this?
I don't know anything about this, but I have to say, just to speak on Wendy Williams, I feel like she's the right amount of famous where like she says whatever she wants and does not get canceled because like not enough people watch her show.
100%.
But like they pop up online. I'm like, how does this woman still have a TV? Like, how did the network not go like, this is a liability?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, and this is a sad point. Well, she is retired, but I think she might be starting to suffer from like dementia or Alzheimer's or something like. She was in a wheelchair. She's dwindling mentally.
Yeah.
And, which is
that might explain some of the behavior.
Yes. So Wendy believes somewhere in the world there is a faceless killer that waits in the shadows for all of us. Wendy believes this so much that she has even gone as far to provide tactics she uses to keep herself safe from the killer. A video
She's gonna hate this new movie.
A video had gone viral where someone compiled a long list of video clips with Wendy Williams talking about the killer, warning her viewers that the killer is a movie-style threat who creeps up on you when you least expect it, hiding in corners, lurking in the dark, ready to strike.
It's kind of Michael Myers, if any horror icon, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Jason, but Michael is more of like the killer, you know?
Yeah.
He's a shadow lurker.
Yeah. During her talk show career, people picked up on it, and it went as far as guests who were appearing on her show would even bring up the killer, such as Martha Stewart. So, like, even Martha Stewart was aware of the killer.
Damn, the killer has that deep of a lore on the Wendy Williams show?
Yes.
Wow.
As I said before, Wendy has shared some of her anti-the killer tactics, which would include keeping a bedazzled pink rhinestone baseball bat with large spikes on it next to her nightstand in case the killer tries to come at her while she's sleeping. Which I forget who she was. She was on a talk show. She was a guest on like Jimmy Kimmel or Seth Meyers or something like that. And she had a photo of it, and it was absurd.
Oh, she actually has a fucking bat with spikes and rhinestones on it?
Yes, and the spikes are probably like 3-inch spikes on it.
Oh my god.
So Wendy also noted that although she has great wealth, she does not like living in mansions because a house that large would provide too many places for the killer to hide and wait for the right moment.
Honestly, she kind of right on that one.
For sure. So Wendy has talked about the killer so frequently that there's even a 2-part, 30-minute total compilation video series titled Wendy Williams, How You Killin'. It's on YouTube. You can type in Wendy Williams, How You Killin'. There's 2 videos and they total out to be 30 minutes.
Oh, great.
30 straight minutes of her talking about the killer. Which, I mean, when I say it's like a compilation, like there are some like clips that are in it that aren't even like a second long of her just being like the killer.
They just like let her talk about whatever she wanted, huh?
I think so. I mean,
That's
I
kinda
think she
cool.
had free range.
It's like if we had a talk show.
Exactly.
Okay.
Things that Wendy said about the killer include, yeah, sure. Oh, again, the typos. I think it says, oh no, it's, yeah, sure. Don't you keep a bat from Yankee Stadium in your night table drawer? It's so convenient. All you have to do is clonk one time with the killer. You don't even have to kill him. You just have to get away.
Oh, does she think she's dropping profound knowledge about hitting somebody in the head with a baseball bat?
Probably. I don't know.
She's like, I figured out how to get rid of the killer. You just
Knock
you don't
him
even have
out.
to, yeah, hit him with a baseball bat. But you know what? I just went to Fenway and they're selling those little fucking baseball bats.
Uh-huh.
Those are the best.
Well, like give me a hand over here. Like show me what you're
Like the ones that are just like little
maybe-
wood baseball bats and they have a logo on them and they're just like a nightstick.
It's like maybe a foot and a half, 2 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have one of those.
Such a good weapon.
I used to have one for the Eugene Emeralds, our local minor league team.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I think about it, I think about the one time it was like towards the end of the game in the concession stand, gave my buddy and I a bag of ice. And we were throwing ice cubes at each other and like hitting the ice with the baseball bat. And my hands were wet and the baseball bat slipped out and the baseball bat went flying and hit my friend in like the throat.
Oh,
He was fine.
owie.
Yeah.
If he was the killer,
if
tell
he was
Wendy
the
about
killer,
that
he would have
one.
been down. I would have gotten away.
Yeah, tell Wendy about that one. Wet your hands up and swing a bat around. You're bound to hit him.
Yeah. So here's another quote, which is a seasonal one for this time of year. You know, Halloween isn't my favorite thing because I feel like that's just a free pass for the killer.
It is.
And just to really put a timestamp on this, like this is another Halloween quote from a different year.
She hates Halloween.
I don't like Halloween. I think it's for ghouls and goblins and for the killer in disguise. I think it's okay. I think it's for ghouls and goblins and for the killer disguise to choke you out at your front door. And I have to just really put like the image in your mind. Like she's dead serious when she's talking about this. Like this isn't like a joke.
And it's even funnier because she doesn't call him like a killer. She calls him the killer. Like
yes.
like this man or woman or they them
Entity.
exists. Yeah, exists and is lurking in the shadows, and she's aware of him, and he or she is aware of her.
Exactly.
That's so funny to me.
Here's another good quote. You know what's better than a safe that electrocutes you? A front doorknob that electrocutes you. Listen, I've been aware of the killer since birth, so this is nothing new. Shout out to everybody who has known me since radio and know that I've talked about the killer.
Damn, the killer goes back.
Yeah.
Is the killer Marv and Harry from Home Alone?
I don't think so, because it sounds like the killer works solo, you know?
But like he'd be grabbing like hot doorknobs and electrified doorknobs and being like,
Yeah, I think this came from a clip where they're talking about
They said electric safe. Somebody had an electric safe, I guess.
Yeah, no, it was a singer that was really big in the 90s. I forget. It's on the tip of my
Selena.
tongue. No, like
Cher.
no. Angsty singer from the 90s.
Avril Lavigne. No. Oh, Alanis Morissette.
Yes.
Okay.
She was talking about how Alanis Morissette's house got robbed and they like took her whole safe. And then she's like, well, that's why you get one of those safes that electrocutes you. Kind of
That
like,
is not a thing.
well, she was making it sound like she had one.
Oh my god, what a smart move though. No one's gonna rob her now. Like, does she actually have an electric safe?
Probably.
But like, she just like, she might be completely right, but like, I'm like 80% sure she's just like making shit up.
Well, you know what the rough part about an electric doorknob that electrocutes you when people are trying to break in? How do you know when it's on and off? You know, you might get yourself.
Well, here's the thing, David.
Yeah.
I would know when it's on, but people outside my house who want to, I don't think anybody should be grabbing my doorknob without knocking on my door
Don't
first.
touch my doorknob.
And you know how pro booby trap I am?
Oh, yeah. We've been talking about it all week.
We have been. And I told David to set booby traps up in his. Do you want to talk about it? I know this is a sensitive subject.
It is a sensitive subject. We can talk about it. So when my wife and I bought our house, well, the first time we toured our house, before we bought it, I had noticed that there was a garden gnome in the backyard standing probably, we never measured it. I'm just guessing here, somewhere between like 3.5 feet to like 4 feet. Very tall, pure concrete garden gnome. And I saw that and I was like, okay, I love this place. Like, love the vibe. We bought the house. And upon move-in day, go into the garage, and the sweet boy was sitting in the garage. And I was like, no way. The previous owners left this beautiful, giant garden gnome. And upon my inspection, I realized that this thing was completely filled, like solid concrete, and weighed probably like 150, 200 pounds. And I realized that it was not going to move very easily. And then we noticed that he was about the same width of the space between our two garage doors. And so we said, hey, you know what? He's going to fit perfectly between the two garage doors. That's fun. People driving by, the kids in the neighborhood, they'll see this fun gnome. We named him Gerald, and we love Gerald. And it became like a fun little game where when I was at work, my mom would sneak over and dress Gerald up for like a seasonal holiday. So, he had like a Santa hat with a beard that would hang down over his beard. And he had a little Halloween outfit, a little 4th of July outfit. And come Monday morning this week, I get up at 5 a.m. to go to work, and I step outside, and I immediately noticed that our sweet boy Gerald was gone. And someone had stolen our sweet boy. And so we've been dealing with the loss of our sweet son Gerald, and
we're hoping for a safe return.
Yeah, we're hoping that it was just a little Halloween prank. Maybe he'll show up eventually. I did tack up a sign on the side of our house that says bring home our gnome. And hopefully we find him. All we can do is hope at this point. And then last night, I set up security cameras. We caught another little creeper trying to get into our car and steal shit out of our car. And it's becoming a real issue in town of thievery and thieves. And so Tobin told me that I should set up lethal booby traps in my driveway for people. So that's how we got the topic of booby traps.
Yes.
So yeah, that is.
I am pro lethal booby traps because you shouldn't be in my driveway in the first place. Sure, there's always the off chance that someone's ball goes into the driveway, and now I have the blood of a 4th grader on my hands. It's happened before; it will happen again.
Yeah,
but
it's nothing new.
In the end, I need to send a message to this neighborhood.
Yes,
and it's even better if it's not my house; it's in front of. So
yeah.
I'll set up in front of David's house.
Yeah. So I guess all I'll say is everybody listening, please put in a prayer that Gerald gets home safe. We miss him. Gerald, if you're hearing this, we love you. We miss you. We hope you're okay, and we hope you're safe.
Free my Nomi Gerald. That's a good shirt. You should put that on a shirt. Put it on a shirt. Sorry, we cut out there.
Yeah, you did. I got the word shirt 30 times.
I just said put it on a shirt.
I got the message. Yeah.
No, let me say it again.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
So like I said, this is a 30-minute long 2-part video. So like, I only watched the first one, which I think was 18 minutes. So I think the second one's like 12 minutes.
Good for you. I couldn't even make it that long.
I'll be honest. I didn't make it that far.
Why would you lie about making it halfway through a video?
I'm just saying. There's only so much you can really sit. I mean, like,
I'd be like, I hit the fast forward button and clipped through it and saw every time she said some dumbass shit.
Well, in the clip, the quotes I pulled were within like the first like minute of the video.
Yeah, you can't do too much Wendy, or I think your brain starts to rot a little bit.
You know, I think if I was hanging out with some friends, drinking a few brewskis, watching it, it'd be very easy to cut through it. But when you're sitting there alone in the middle of the day and you're just watching Wendy Williams rant on about the killer, it's a little rough. Yeah. Get the right setting and watch the video. So yeah, it's 30 minutes of Wendy Williams, entirely about Wendy Williams talking about the killer. And I said earlier, some of the clips in it, like, it's not dragged out. There's not a lot of meat in it. It's like 100% her just talking about the killer. So the question we face is Wendy just excessively paranoid, being that this is something she has feared apparently since birth? Or is she on to something? Is it possible that we all have our own the killer in our lives, waiting for the perfect time?
The killer.
Yeah, we all have our own killer. We all have our own the killer.
It's like Facebook.
Yes.
Keep the
in our lives, waiting for the perfect time to strike. I think we should all be aware and prepared in case we do. So get your bedroom baseball bat. Sell your mansion. Get rid of it. Move into a 1-bedroom apartment. I don't care how many kids and dogs you got.
Studio.
Keep it tight.
No walls.
Keep it light.
No.
Keep it light and tight. No walls. All balls.
Right. Get it right. Get it tight. Get it right. Sorry.
And stay vigilant. Vigilant. And that is all what I could muster to type up on that subject. I know it was a little short. I apologize.
No, it's pretty. I mean, we had enough news stories to pad out the front end.
I just thought it was such a fun topic with not much information to literally try to spread it out. You know,
it's very Camp Strange.
Yes,
like Wendy Williams and her rantings are not too similar, not too different than ours.
No,
so,
I would give anything to have her as a guest and come tell.
Oh, fantastic!
Come tell a story about the killer would be amazing.
Oh,
definitely out of our price range. But
the best part is she has no real stories about the killer. It's all what ifs.
Well, she could tell us a few times she thought he was close.
Somebody should really fulfill her fantasy.
Yeah.
I feel like at this point, if she doesn't get killed by the killer, then like she's just kind of like, it's embarrassing.
That's a bummer, you know?
Yeah, if you want to get killed, it's like the guy who's like, oh, the world's gonna end, and then the world doesn't end, and you're like, oh fuck, like maybe they should have dropped like a nukes on that guy's house, right?
Yeah.
So he could have been justified. It would have hurt.
Yeah.
But man,
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I know earlier I said my biggest fear was the killer. My new biggest fear is that Wendy Williams is going to die within 2 weeks of this episode coming out.
That is a strong possibility. I mean, we lost Bob Barker. We lost Prince Philip.
Prince Philip.
Is that him? Is he Prince Philip?
I don't know. What did he even do?
King Philip? What the fuck was that?
Yeah, he was never a king.
Wait, who's Prince Philip? I'm so disconnected from the fucking
It doesn't
royal
make
family.
sense. They haven't had a king there in forever because Queen Elizabeth was queen for fucking 60 years.
Yeah, true. Oh, also fun fact, I was watching Horrible Bosses 1,
Yeah.
and Meghan Markle's like in a a weird little scene in the beginning with like when they introduced Jason Sudeikis' character and she's a FedEx girl and he's like hitting on her.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the princess now.
No,
that's weird.
No, they're disconnected. They're out of there.
That's right. No, she's the princess of Santa Barbara. I think that's where they live, Montecito or some shit. But,
it is pretty wild that like we're like currently watching the English empire of like royalty kind of crumble a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Things are getting off the rails, man. Let's go dump their tea.
I love it. Yeah. Let's go cum in their tea. Sorry, this is the end of the podcast, so only real fans are listening at this point.
Yeah,
right?
we're getting a little loopy.
Ooh. Anyway, okay. Well, that's all we have for you today. Thank you guys so much.
Hold on, I
tuning in
got a
once
question.
again.
Did you get any trick-or-treaters this year?
No.
None.
I walked through the neighborhood and
That's not how you get trick-or-treaters, bud.
In my van. Are you talking about my van? No, I mean I have an apartment, so it's like kind of in like a little inlet where like my door's not facing the street, so I'd be.
Yeah.
I don't think kids knock on apartment doors.
No.
I grew up in the suburbs, so it's always like just houses, but I just don't think that's like part of the Halloween lore for cities. I mean, maybe like New York because it's New York, but I feel like in cities people drive out to the suburbs to trick or treat because it's like houses are decorated and that's kind of like a beacon for like come knock on our door because then you're just knocking on apartment doors and 50% I bet like 80% of those people do not have candy or were expecting trick-or-treaters, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, did you get any?
Oh, we got cleaned out.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, we had a buttload of kids. It was awesome.
That's good.
I think my wife and I's favorite was we had like the tiniest little lady dressed up as Wednesday, like Adams. But she was so tiny. It was like the cutest thing ever. We loved it.
Was she like actually a tiny person, or was she?
No,
just
I
like
think she was just. Yeah, I think she was a small kiddo.
a petite. Well, like what, 3-year-old?
Yeah, she was. I think she was pretty young, but I think she's also pretty small for her age. But it was
that's cute,
adorable.
You can't go like, can I take a picture of your child? Actually, that's the one day of the year where you probably can get away with it.
Yeah, for sure.
You're already handing candy out to kids. You know, that's not allowed.
But yeah, no, we ran out of candy at one point.
What do you do? Start fucking giving them CDs like in Big Daddy?
We had some, like I've said, I don't really eat sweets or anything like that. So like we had some like full size candy bars that people had like given us or something like that, you know. And that had just been sitting in our pantry. So we at one point we just started giving out like full size candy bars. I was like, this is what it's all about. This is the American dream, is when you give out full size candy bars.
True. Everybody knows the full size candy bar house.
Yeah.
Did you run out? Do you have to turn any kids away, or do you just shut off the lights?
No,
after?
we had 2 more of the small like 2-pack Starburst.
Damn, you got
close.
rationed it perfectly.
Yeah. We did have like a group of like 15 older kids that had to have been in high school show up at like 10:30.
Oh,
and they had like 6 dogs with them, and we were already in bed. We're just like, no, go away, go away.
Yeah,
they're all pissed.
we're not doing
it's
that.
like, come on, man.
Yeah, don't show up at 10:30. I feel like the cutoff's 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can't wait to trick or treat with my gremlin children.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Oh, I hope they let me like pick the outfits and put them in some real niche shit, you know.
They're like 12. I'm like, you're dressing well like I want you to be. And you know what I want to be next year for Halloween?
What?
I want to be the old guy who ate the green paint by accident. That meme from like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Their grandpa thought it was yogurt, but he ate a tub of paint. I want to be that guy.
That would be a really good one.
Right? I'm going to be that next year. I can't believe I didn't think of it.
What were you this
such
year?
Nothing.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
We got back from Salem the day before Halloween, and I'm like, I don't have a costume. Like, I wasn't going anywhere anyway, so I was like, but speaking of royalty, Megan dressed up like Princess Diana.
I saw that. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fucking wig was atrocious, but
Yeah.
it was great.
Yeah.
I was like, let me put on a sport coat and be your Secret Service.
There you go.
And I'm bad at it, too. I mean, we all know that, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Car crash is one thing. What are you supposed to do?
It was a setup, though.
For sure. 100%.
So, Oh, we'll go into that. That's a good episode.
That's a good topic we haven't talked about.
Yeah, Prince. Yeah, okay. Anyway, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. We love telling the stories, and we love when you stick around and listen. If you guys want any more information, go to Camp Strange Podcast on Instagram.com. Click the link in bio, and we have all the things there for merch and for listening to it, but you're already listening to it, so fuck off. Anyway, if you guys want to send us an email, send it to campstrangepodcast@gmail.com, and make sure to rate, review, subscribe, and send this to your friends. We had like 2 more new reviews, which was very
did we?
nice.
I didn't check.
Yeah, so thank you
Hell
guys.
yeah.
I did read those. They're very nice. And guess what? If you leave a nice review, I'll read it too, and I'll thank you.
If you guys leave a nice review,
I think Liz
I'll wake up
Hammer
another day.
something. And then I can't remember who the other. Yeah, exactly. Give us something. We need a little sweet treat, please. Anyway, okay. Well, David, do you have anything to say before we leave?
Keep the reviews coming in. It only helps us. If you guys like this, then it only gives us more exposure, which leads to us putting more effort into it.
Yeah, true. Yeah, if you guys are currency, we don't take money, we take reviews. So can you just like review, or we'll fucking stop. This is a threat. Come in my driveway, you will explode. There is a tripwire in my driveway somewhere. Anyway. Okay, did I already ask you if you want to say anything?
Yeah.
Okay. And don't forget to stay strange.